Gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Inhale deeply and exhale. And bring your right hand, close your right nostril with your right thumb. And we just do for a minute breath of fire, equal in an exhale through our left nostril. So it's a rapid movement, but not too fast. So if you put, air into the fireplace, you're engaging your navel and your diaphragm. Activating the lunar energy inside of you. And we're switching nostrils, doing the breath of fire through our right nostril, activating the sun energy. Inhaling deeply. Exhale, resting our left hand back into our lap, bringing our right hand up again, closing the right nostril with our right thumb. Inhaling through the left nostril, closing the left nostril with the pinky, exhaling right. Closing the right nostril, open the left, inhale left, exhale right. And you just go from side to side, inhale left, exhale right. The breath is still faster than usual. Good. Now we switch. We inhale right, exhale left. Inhaling through both nostrils, resting our right hand on top of the left. Tip of our thumbs are touching. Just taking a minute to integrate. Preferable your eyes stay closed. And from here, we open our eyes, we bring our arms out to the side, palms facing up. When I'm in this position, I have my head turned to the left, so I look towards my left palm. That's my inhale. On the exhalation, I look to the right and I bring my forearms up. I inhale left, exhale right. My upper arms stay parallel to the floor the entire time. All breath is through your nostrils. Just move your head from side to side. Activate your thyroid and parathyroid gland. Last one. And then we come to center. We keep our arms out to the side. That's my inhale. Exhale, all my fingertips touch my shoulder. I inhale, I have the back of my hands touch behind my head. I exhale back to parallel. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 4-part posture. Lifting your diaphragm nicely up. Stimulating your stomach meridian. Last 30 seconds, keep going. We do one more repetition. Then we keep our fingertips in front of our shoulders, thumb in the back. On your inhalation, you bring your arms forward so the elbows touch in front of you. Then you bring your arms up and the elbows above your ears, and then you round them back. Inhale through your nose, exhale, open mouth. You might hear some noises, that's all right. Don't worry about that. Just breathe in, breathe through, and breathe out of them. Last 2 repetitions. And then keep your fingertips again on your shoulders, fingers in front, thumb in the back, elbows out to the side. That's your inhale. On the exhalation, you just bring the elbows in front so that they touch. Inhale, bring the elbows back as much as you can. Exhale, forward. Inhale, exhale. Yeah. And you can start to slightly arch your spine and come into a movement like your spinal flex. When you bring your elbows back, you arch your spine. When you bring your elbows together, you can gently round. Good, we go for one more minute. See that you're not bringing your head up and back. When you bring your head up, yeah, you need to know that you kept the energy that you're actually activating towards your crown. So you want to just keep your chin parallel to the floor. This is not a head movement, it's just for the upper, mid, and lower spine, for your lungs. The last one. And then hold the elbows back, inhale deeply. Just for a moment, suspend your breath. And then on the exhalation, slowly bring your elbows down to your side, hands onto your knees or your thighs. Eyes stay closed for a moment. Take a full breath. And feel into your chest region, into your spine. Good. Now we're ready for you, Namala.
Thank you, Siddhi. Hello, beautiful ladies. Happy Saturday morning, night. So today, several things I want to talk about today. The first is that beginning this Thursday, October 7th through October 15th is Navratri. And Navratri in the Indian tradition is the most significant divine feminine festival honoring the divine feminine throughout the year. It's very big throughout India. And it's very big here at the ashram, of course, with the temple. Nav means 9, and Ratri is the darkness of night. So this celebration is 9 consecutive nights where something is done each night in honoring the divine feminine. It's also sometimes called Durga Puja, and it ends on the 10th day with a very special celebration called Dasara. And that's very, many people just observe that one day of celebration, but those who are really following the divine feminine will follow through these 9 nights. Some people will also honor this celebration with the festival by fasting. A lot of people I know fast during this time. Obviously no alcohol, time for reflection. It's really a time for celebration of the divine feminine, but also going internally. Dances are very popular with this. One of the most popular is called Garba, and it's especially big in Gujarat, which is a northwestern Indian state. So the way that it is done traditionally is that the 9 nights are divided into 3 separate goddesses. So in our temple, because we are a Devi temple, which is the sort of overarching mother goddess that has the attributes and the qualities of all of the other Devi or individual goddesses. So for instance, the attributes that Devi carries are fierceness and compassion and abundance, and there are 33 of them that we chant every day, and each of these relates to another goddess. And so if you were following or looking for support in your life in one specific way, you might work with that specific goddess. But in the Devi temple, we work with all the goddesses underneath of the umbrella of Devi. So for Navratri, the first 3 nights of Navratri are dedicated to Durga, which is the most fierce. Durga and Kali are the most fierce of the goddesses in the Indian pantheon. She is the protective mother of the universe, the protector of all that is good and harmonious. And you will typically see her sitting on a lion or a tiger, and she's multi-limbed. She has all these different arms that are holding different weapons or tools or things that she needs to fight evil. And so when things are not going well in one's life, Durga is a great one to call upon, because she comes in and she not only protects you, but she'll slay whatever is coming after you. So Durga is very important in the Indian tradition. And we honor that for the first 3 nights. We honor that and by putting kumkum all over her. So she is covered, she's typically a lingam, a black stone, but she's covered in red with kumkum. She's 9 feet tall. So this is a big deity of red. She's covered in red, and for 3 nights we celebrate Durga with her. So people bring in specific offerings for Durga. We chant certain mantras that have to do with Durga for those nights. And then for the second 3, the 4th, 5th, and 6th nights, we work with Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance. She has the divine power to transform dreams into reality. So when you're looking to invoke something in your life that you want, that you feel could work well in your life, but you don't feel like you have all of you've asked it for it in the ways that you know how, you've set up your life in the ways that are conducive, and now you just want that little extra thing, you would call, in India, you would call in Lakshmi. And she is what we call Prakriti, which is the perfection of creation. She's self-sustaining, self-contained in nature. She's all things. Lakshmi is beautiful. Usually you'll see her sitting on a lotus, and she'll have, she's got several hands as well, and she'll be holding different offerings in her hands. One hand generally will be facing down, and you'll see coins that are coming out of it to symbolize wealth in terms of finances, but she works in all different abundance in your life. And for us, she's covered in the yellow color of turmeric. So for the next 3 nights, she'll be in turmeric. So we have a puja, an Abhishekam, each of these every 3rd night, to actually put her into whatever color she's in. And that's a very sacred ceremony. And I'll tell you a little bit about that, because those are going to be streamed. So if you want to watch them, you actually can. So I'm going to give you the link for that. So that is the second of the 3 nights. And the last 3 nights are for Saraswati. And Saraswati is the Hindu goddess of knowledge, music, art, speech, wisdom, learning. She's the one that brings to you all of those creative qualities that you want to bring out. So if you're looking to develop a creative aspect of yourself, the goddess you would go to is Saraswati. She's typically in white. For that last, the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th nights, we put her in Chandanam, which is sandalwood paste, which is sort of an off-whitish color. So she's completely covered in that for the last 3 evenings. And she has 4 arms. Saraswati has 4 arms. The arms, they symbolize her eminence and her transcendence. And her front arms depict her activity in the material world, the world that we're in. Her back arms are depicted as reaching back into the spiritual realm. So she's connecting the 2 realms, the spiritual realm and the physical realm that we're in. Saraswati, you'll often see her with an instrument. She'll be holding an instrument, and she's often on a swan, a white swan. Beautiful, very graceful. When you think of Saraswati, you think about grace. And you think about divine, just the ultimate in the divine mother presence, very peaceful and very sweet, but very deep and very powerful. So all 3 of these 3 deities, goddesses, are often seen together as part of a group that if you're reading about goddesses, they'll often use all 3 of those together, because they bring these different aspects of the divine feminine that can be used in the fullness. So the idea is that we all carry many attributes and qualities, and we don't just carry one. And there may be a time when we're wanting to work more on one than another, but ultimately, as the divine feminine that we are Devi. We're all of these things. We're not just one. So this celebration, Navratri, I think that if you are willing to get up, I'm going to send you the link. We are streaming on October 9th, 10th, and the 15th. I'll put this in our email when I send it out tonight or tomorrow. And at the time, we always do our Abhishekams at the same time. So it will be 5 a.m. to 5:45 your time. So if you're willing to get up, there's a link. You go to the link, you register on the link, and it gives you access on those mornings to be able to watch it live. So you'll see what's happening. I'm actually in the temple on the 9th and the 15th at that time. I don't know what I'll be doing. I may be receiving offerings. We receive hundreds and thousands of saris and bangle bracelets and incense and fruits. And it just, everyone brings everything that they want to offer to the deities at that time. So we have thousands of people in line just offering one thing after another. But inside the temple, we won't be receiving them. We'll be receiving them outside because of COVID. We're not letting very many people in the temple at a time, but you'll be able to see on this streaming the actual Abhishekam and what happens when we go through this daily offerings, which we do 3 times a day for her. So it might be interesting. You won't very often get an opportunity to see it if you're not live. So to be able to see it streamed during Navratri is special. So I'll send that link out for you, and you might want to join in. I don't know if I can.
Nirmala,
yes,
I think it would be great for some people to know what Abhishekam is, what the meaning is.
Yes, sorry, I throw out these words because we use them all the time here, but Abhishekam is an offering that you make to a deity. And in Abhishekam consists of several offerings when you're making them for a puja, which is a ceremony. So we do an Abhishekam ceremony or puja today, be 3 times a day. And we offer 11 offerings, 11, the divine feminine number. And they are things that they believe the divine feminine likes. So we're offering sweets and coconuts and fire and butter and kumkum and chandanam and betel leaves and flowers and leaves. So we have a whole 11 different offerings that we offer to her right at her feet. They're offered to her feet in a beautiful ceremony. It takes about 7 minutes, 8 minutes. And we do that 3 times a day at exactly the same time. And people bring offerings to add to that. And they also, we break a coconut for everyone that's come to the ceremony. We break coconuts for them. So it's very festive. On really busy days, we can break hundreds of coconuts for that ceremony. Since COVID, it's not handled quite that same way, but you'll get to see the inner sanctum, what it looks like, where Devi actually is within the temple. You'll see that sacred space, which we call an inner sanctum, which only the Mas and the Upasakas enter. Nobody else can enter that space. It should be beautiful to watch. So I will share that with you. And if there's any way that I can get a recording of it, I will, though they're quite careful about that. I don't know. Generally, you can't record it unless you just record your computer playing and you have it on your phone or something. But anyway, it's something beautiful to see. Even if you don't join us for any one of the Abhishekams, the 3 Abhishekams that are going to be streamed, the 9 days that are Navratri are beautiful for you to light a candle each day, light a lamp, just to signify that you are paying attention to the fact that millions of people in this part of the world are celebrating the divine feminine. And it's not a small thing. It goes, their houses are decorated. They have special meals around it. They do the kolam, the beautiful artwork outside of their homes where they use the sort of chalk-like material, and they make coloring designs on the ground outside of their home. At the floor where you enter into different rooms are all decorated. They have outfits for every one of the 9 nights. They'll wear something different. It's a very big celebration of the divine feminine and attention to the divine feminine. And since we are, as a group, spending our energy and our time cultivating our divine feminine, it's a beautiful way for us to be in awareness of other cultures and how they rise up the divine feminine in ritual. So it would be beautiful. The next thing I want to get into is I have lovely news for all of you. Sheila has decided that she is able to start the deep listening circle, which several of you have asked me about, sooner than later. She was thinking maybe not until the new year. However, Grace Kendrick who some of you have met. She's an Ayurvedic doctor, Ayurvedic practitioner, who was meant to come on last month. She'll be on next month in our resource day. She actually had COVID, vaccinated, and she still had COVID. She will be coming on, but she is a yoga teacher, a meditation teacher. She's been in this, and then Ayurvedic practitioner. She's been in this world for many, many years. And she's actually my Ayurvedic practitioner. I go to her when I need something Ayurvedic. She taught at the school that I went to for my Ayurvedic studies. So she is going to co-lead with Sheila. So this, the circle will be starting, and it's going to start, they're going to start on a morning not directly following this. They're starting on Friday, October the 8th. So that would be, we're on a Saturday, that'll be this upcoming Friday at 9 o'clock. And you can, those who join, you can have a conversation about whether or not that time is going to work for you, and you can always adjust. But for the first one, I will put all of this in our email as well, but it will be Friday the 9th on Zoom at 9, Friday the 8th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And this circle, just to remind you, the circle is a deep listening circle. So it isn't one where you come and you give people feedback and tell them what you think or what your experience has been. It's simply to listen. And Sheila and Grace will be dividing the group into small groups so that you'll have enough time to actually speak. Depending on how many people come, they will divide it up, and they'll simply hold the space for it. But it's not a time for us to be giving feedback or resources or whatever, except at the very end. She may, if you're interested in getting some feedback, I'm not sure how she'll structure this, but there may be a way to have that conversation if you personally are interested. It's all confidential. Everything that's said there is held there in the circle, and then it's let go of. We don't take anything out with us away. And it's meant to be a place for us to hear ourselves speak, so that we have a moment of safety to sit in a space where we have somebody listening to us, but we know they're not trying to actually direct us. They're just there to hold the space for us. Very important. Most of us don't have a place to do that. Usually people try to fix things for us. And many times we fix things ourselves when we have the opportunity to be able to hear ourselves and to speak quietly and gently with ourselves and to tell the story of what's happening in our lives, what we are missing, what we're looking for, what's transitioning, what's scary for us. So I will include the link, the Zoom link, as well as the date and the time, and Sheila and Grace's email if you want to check in with them ahead of time if you have any specific questions. I know that they will be very happy to take those and answer them. So why is this deep listening circle so important? Because listening is an art. It's an art form. It's something we practice. It's not something we're born with. And whether you join this circle because you want to have sacred space to speak into, or you want to use this circle as a place to support your own capacity for deep listening, you might use it in both ways. Because the more we cultivate our capacity for deep listening, that leads us into a place of inclusiveness. It leads us into a place where we stop seeing ourselves as separate from, because we hear other people's stories and we realize how many stories are the same or similar, overlap with our stories. And it helps us to not feel so alone in whatever it is we're transitioning through. We don't even have to have the words of sharing it, of somebody hearing my story. Just me hearing their story is cathartic for me. And so this cultivating this art of deep listening without having to respond, without having to have an answer, without having to direct, is a really powerful tool in our lives. So you may consider that you want to join this circle because you want to practice the art of deep listening. And you aren't joining because you really want to tell your life story, that there's not something that you need at this juncture to be sharing, but you want to participate in this process. And then you might feel once you're into the process that you do want to share. Sheila has led circles like this, sharing circles, for many, many years in different versions. So she's got a lot of experience and a lot of awareness around how to handle that. And Grace has been teaching for many years as well. So the two of them will be fabulous to be able to hold the space for this. So I encourage anyone in this group that would like to have a practice of deep listening and of being heard, both, to take advantage of this. Siddhi and I will be checking in and out of it. We'll be there every week for sure, but we'll be checking in and out as it's part of our Fragrance of Joy gatherings. We want to also be included and to see what's happening and to hear what's going on with each of you, because we're connecting with your story as well. It makes a difference to us and what we speak to and how we lead when we hear what's happening in your lives. So let's just see how that goes. I think it's going to be fabulous. I am really looking forward to it beginning. I'm really pleased that Sheila is able to carve out the time and that Grace is willing to jump in. It will be fabulous. So I am going to leave you with that. I will send all of this out in our email. I hope that you join us for Navratri, even if it's just in your own home in lighting a lamp this week, that you honor the divine feminine and the beauty of what we bring to the world in all of these magnificent aspects and qualities that we carry into the world and we offer into the world as women. It's really profound, and it's really important in the universe at this time for the healing that's necessary, that we each step up to those qualities and that we offer them. So happy beginning of Navratri, ladies. Next week will be several days in.
Thank you, my dear. That I thought we use a chant today. Number one, to listen to our own voice, because we can't hear each other. So, but we listen to our own voice and also create a connection to the Divine Mother. And the mantra is very simple. It's Hari Om, Hari Hari. I like for us to have our left hand on our chest, right hand on top. And this mantra is so beautiful because if you use it really wisely and you use your tongue to activate the upper palate, it really allows for the prana to go through your entire body. So it activates all our energy centers. You know, we spoke about the chakras. So this mantra really activates all these centers so that you can connect to the divine. So just feel free. So it's Hari Om, very simple. And I want you to connect to your goddess or your divine connection.
Hare
Let's take a deep inhalation. Exhale, open mouth. Then we bring our hands into prayer pose. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for joining. Namaste. So this mantra is also being suggested to chant while we are in retrograde. And we are in Mercury retrograde. So Nirmala will add the mantra onto the side. Okay, have a beautiful week.